Inspirational teaching. Inspirational teaching, Biafrans.
You there, second desk, blue jacket. What is your name?
My name is Alexis.
Alexis, please leave my lecture room. I don't want to see you at one of my lectures ever again.
I don't understand.
I am not going to ask a second time. Thank you. Why are there laws? What are laws for? Anyone?
Social order?
To protect a person's personal rights.
So that you can rely on the government?
Justice?
Thank you. Tell me, was I unfair to your classmate just now? Indeed I was. So, why didn't any of you protest? Why didn't any of you try and stop me? Why didn't you want to prevent this injustice? You see, what you have just learnt, you wouldn't have understood in 1,000 hours of lectures unless you lived it. You didn't say anything because you weren't affected yourself. And this attitude speaks against you and against life. You think it doesn't concern you, so it's none of your business. Well, I'm here to say, if you don't help bring about justice, then one day you too may experience injustice, and there will be nobody there to stand before you. Truth and justice lives through us all, and we must fight for it. Because in life and work, I mean, we often live next to each other, but not with each other. We console ourselves that the problems of others are nothing to do with us, none of our business. And we go home glad at night that we're spared, but it's about standing up for each other. Every day an injustice happens in business, sport, or on the tram. Relying on someone else to take care of it is not good enough. It is our duty to be there for others, to speak up for others when they cannot. I am here to teach you the power of your voice. I want you to learn critical thinking to empower you to stand up for what is right, even if it means going against what everyone else is doing. Let's begin.
Yes, 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 yes. Biafrans, join us. Join us and let's begin. Join us and let's begin. If you are here, write us some comments to show that you are here. We are 555 Vision, and our job is to make sure we bring some of these critical ways to your table, to your understanding, to your ability. Those things you cannot hear from other places like churches. The power of your voice. The power of your voice. That is what we have come to teach. It doesn't matter, even if it means that you have to stand alone, but to stand for justice. we have come to understand the secret behind divide and rule, and it is called might criticism. If you study might criticism, you will understand exactly what we are about to do. If you come, you share and write us some comments, then we know that you are ready. Then we can make a move.
You there, second desk, blue jacket. What is your name?
My name is Alexis.
Alexis, please leave my lecture room. I don't want to see you at one of my lectures ever again.
I don't understand.
I am not going to ask a second time. Thank you. Why are there laws?
Why are there laws?
What are laws for?
What are laws for? Are you here? Write us some comments. We can proceed. Yes, we can see some comments. Yes, Peter, all hail Biafra. Yes, all hail Biafra, Peter. We are here. Why are we doing this? It does not mean that you don't know it. It does not mean that these people doesn't know they should ask a question concerning the activity, the action of the lecturer. But the brain of our people has been transformed to think in different ways. If you see what Asari Dokubo is doing today, then you will understand why we start like this. What we have started like this teaching we started like this is to make you know, to understand the teaching of Mazen Namdekan, which we have been crying for, and understand the activity of Samuel Ekpa today, which he told you that it is called the sound of freedom. How do you join together? How do you speak in one voice? Whoever that is here watching, whoever that is listening, and whoever that want to learn. There are people that came to watch, there are people that came to learn, and there are people that came to listen. You can listen, you can watch, you can learn all together. But what are we trying to bring out? Inside this place,
Social order?
social order. Social
To
order,
protect a person's personal rights.
social order is just like the way Christians brought up their children in Nigeria. Social order. You must obey whatever the elder tell you. You must obey whatever the teacher tells you in the school. You must obey. If they tell you to sit down, you sit down. If they tell you to stand up, you stand up. But this is not helpful. It's not helpful. Not in any way. It's not helpful. Then, but what is helpful? Let us continue to hear what is helpful.
So that you can rely on the government?
So that you can rely on the government. Is it the solution? How long have you relied on government? Since the amalgamation of Nigeria, since 1914. Everybody have relied on Nigeria, waiting to know if anything can change. But it has not changed until they come to 1999 amalgamation and seized everybody, begin to go on what is happening today, which says you have no right to ask a question. Then Asare Dokobo have to now unleash his own agenda. Let us hear more of
Justice?
justice.
Thank you.
Thank you. Justice. And what is Simon Eba and Mazen Namdekan stands for? Justice, equity, fairness, and otherwise. That is all they stand for. And if you will continue this program We will enjoy your comments. That is what we enjoy in 555 Vision. Enjoying your comments, putting you in the system. While you put me in the system, we reason together. Now we are talking about justice, equity, and fairness. Then let's hear.
Tell me, was I unfair to your classmate just now?
He asked, was I unfair to your classmate? Is he fair by removing the girl out of the class? Of course, it is not fair. But why is it that all of them kept quiet? None of them could protest. Divide and rule. Go back now, you will see the divide and rule where it is yelling fruit. Then you see this the way Asare Dokubo came up now to carry every load on his head. Divide and rule. We are coming to that extent to our teaching of today. We are coming to show more of the things we came with. Why Asare Dokubo is doing what he did today. Me and you knows that Asare Dokubo supported Mazen Nandekan. But because of greed, because of not understanding the way to Biafra, that's why we say the way to Biafra is narrow. In the Christendom, they says, we know that the way to heaven is narrow, so as the way to Biafra is narrow. The only system and the only way Christians missed the game, they were looking for heaven that is on top of the sky. If Christian could trace the original heaven, this kind of problem we are into today will not happen, because pastors, reverend fathers and reverend sisters, deacons and deaconess has the multitude. They have the language. They have the equipment to carry up multitude. But they don't originally know where the promised land they've been talking about relies. Olden days, they used to say, Israel. They transformed our memory, thinking that Israel is not in this planet Earth, that Israel is above the sky. But little do we know that the history of Israel is just like a history of Akokombe, Akomakejaya. Now, we come to understand that Israel is here in the Middle East. And these pastors that are supposed to now teach people where exactly the promised land relies and how to go there, they keep on chasing the shadow. That is why we are building this kind of program the way we are building it, because our own system of teaching is different. We teach it the way you can hear it. We teach it the way you can go and crack your brain. We teach it the way you will be cracking your brain until you get to the answer. You get to the answer or knowing how to form the habit of writing comment when you are watching in our program 555 Vision. You write comment, cracking your brain. Now, why do we come? We came here because we are preaching what they call practical form of criticism. Divide and rule. How did they divide us? We are serving Biafra. We have different groups. We have different WhatsApp group. We have different Alisavik. Thank you. We have different WhatsApp group. We have different Zoom meeting. We have different platforms. But come to think of it, is Igbo people really understanding how to change the narratives of yesterday? That is what we are asking. When you are in a WhatsApp group talking about Biafra, maybe you people are 5 in number, having WhatsApp group. You will see 2 people being in accord with each other, 2 in accord with each other, 1 will be left behind. The other 2 will be dragging that one, or the other 2 will be dragging from the other one. Everybody wants his voice to be heard. And in this form, you are going to Biafra. trying to restore Biafra. Then we begin to change the narrative, bringing this kind of news to you that no matter what you are doing, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu say, whatever you know you can do for Biafra to come, do it. And what you need to remove, in as much as you need Biafra to come, is criticism. Criticizing one another, fighting one another. If you know the one I have not said or the one I did not say good, what do? You write comments, you correct it. What do? You say that one on the line how to enter. Then if someone want to remove someone out of this journey of Biafra, everybody must stand up. That is exactly what is cooking here. Look at it.
Indeed, I was. So, why didn't any of you protest? Why didn't any of you try and stop me?
The man now is asking, why didn't any of you protest? Why didn't any of you try to stop him for chasing away one of the students that has not committed anything? Even if the girl have committed something, we are bringing this teaching to let you know the downfall of DOS. The real downfall of DOS, which is very, very difficult for you to see inside autopilot. Why they are different? DOS, when people came up with the idea on how to restore Biafra, they say no, they don't want to give such a privilege. They will write discharge and they are acquitted to such fellow and say, go away from this place. You don't drive people away. Biafran struggle has come across what Igbo people used to say, isi koto oburu. That time has passed. The time isi koto oburu is the time when Nnamdi Kanu begin agitation, going up and down. When you like Biafra to come, you carry your flag, you begin to flow your flag. Nigerian police will come, they will chase people away, shoot people, mess up people's life. Then your mother will call you and say, hey, what are you doing? Why are you supporting Biafra? Why? You will tell your mother, if maybe you are hardcore, you say, this is the kind of cross I want to carry. Then you begin to go agitation. You will begin to carry your cross, begin to agitate. Now, Biafran struggle has passed those limits. Level of agitation, level of forming group, level of coming together, like Igbo unity, donating money for birthday party, donating money for burial, donating money from different kind of party, which you want to do. No, Biafran struggle now is now under government. Now it is under government. It is not. It's no more what they call isi koto oburu. Now Biafran struggle now is togetherness. Togetherness that you must to create the ideology of carrying your person along, and then making sure that you protect anybody that is in front. And your person who is in front, like Simon Ekpa, is now in front. He must to be very, very assured that the people behind protect his behind while he is marching forward. If you see what is happening today, Nigerian government have sent their military through Asari Dokobo, through Meyeti Allah, through Fulani henchmen, coming to our land to ransack and kill our people. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu created ESN to go and fight them. Ohaneze ndị Igbo begin to fight Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, and they extradite him to Nigeria. Glory to God, Simon Ekpa have come reactivate the same ESN to carry on the same agenda, which is the initial initiative why it was created. When we were defending here, people begin to criticize Simon Ekpa. Oh, you are causing violence. You are causing violence. You are causing violence. We stand strong making sure that everybody must understand that Simon Ekpa is not the person causing violence in Biafran land. And as we are proceeding, we will let you know how we understand what we are doing.
Why didn't you want to prevent this injustice?
Why didn't you people want to prevent this injustice? Can one person prevent injustice? The answer is no. Biafran people must to create that ideology of acceptance, because the Biafran struggle today is no more personal. Biafran struggle today is no more personal. They made it personal before when Ojukwu carried this thing. Then they brought up the ideology of divide and rule. If this man we are using now to teach come up and they ask these people different kind of opinion why they did not defend, all of them will come with a different opinion. They will say yes because she has black hair. They will say yes because she is the most intelligent in the class. They will say yes because she is the most ugly. They will say yes because she is the most beautiful. Every one of them will find some reason. And if they ask now, why must you defend this person? You will still begin to see reasons inside the same people who kept quiet. And that is why we come, 555 Vision. First oath we took before standing in this camera is, we are no more afraid of making mistake. Rather, we are ready to take correction whenever mistake is being found in things we do. And that is how we come to understand that the sea has a new challenge every now and then. When you go to ocean, you will see that the wave turns in different form. The wave turns in different form. Then the riders must study the wave before they dive inside the wave, before they can be able to ride. And the treasure is hidden in an open place. That means ihe a na-achọ n'uko elu, ọ dị n'uko ala. But how many people is understanding what is really happening? That's why when we come here, we will ask you, please write us comments showing us that you are really understanding what we are doing. Bringing ideas, things we have not said, things you have learned, things, even the one we have said, you repeat it for us to know that what we are doing here is yielding fruit. When first sit at home took place, everybody came together as they say, Simon Ekpa is the person who is killing people in Biafran land. Every other person say, Simon Ekpa is the person killing people in Biafran land. Today, it is playing. Today, it is playing in your own very eyes to know who and those.
You see, what you have just learnt, you wouldn't have understood in 1,000 hours of lectures unless you lived it. You didn't say anything because you weren't affected yourself. And this attitude speaks against you. And this attitude speaks against you. You weren't affected yourself. Say anything because you weren't affected yourself.
You want to defend yourself, self-defense.
And against you weren't affected yourself. And this attitude speaks against you and against life.
The attitude speaks against you and against life. That you see injustice, things that are supposed not to happen, it is happening. You keep quiet. And this now brings us to this place. As we proceed,
nobody spoke for you. Mazin Namdekano is a poster boy for all the injustices that a great race, the Igbo people, and their cousins in the former eastern Nigeria have been subjected to since the founding of Nigeria. These injustices became more public because since 2015 they have been escalated. So how do you fight back? You fight back by telling the system, I want out. I want my own country is not a crime.
That was the crime of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, this is what he stands for. When we were here shouting, trying to make sure that this message is circulated. Ohaneze Ndi Igbo, Eastern governors, all of them, they were calling us miscreants. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu say, no problem. You are calling us miscreants. But okwu anyị dị ka nkwu gbọguru udu mmiri ọkọchịpụ a na-anyị ya. You cannot do anything. That when you are coming, you will see our word on the way. You will see everything we say on the way. When you come there, you pick it. It doesn't matter where he is. It doesn't matter if he is in Europe. It doesn't matter if he is in exile. It doesn't matter wherever he is. That this gospel must be preached for man to understand it, for God to understand it, for every other person to understand it. That is the reason Mazen Nnamdi Kanu came.
Wow.
That's the reason he came. And here,
for a man to deserve his freedom. How many have I counted? United Nations, which in this case should be considered a world court. Then you have the Nigerian Court of Appeal, which is the second highest court in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Then you have the Federal High Court, which is the court of first instance at the federal level. And of course, you have the State High Court that awarded him $1 billion Nigerian naira. So between 2015,
as you can see, we are opening the
nobody
can.
spoke.
We are opening the can of worm. This thing we are trying to show here now.
Holy, Nnamdi Kanu is another Savior. Holy, Nnamdi Kanu is another.
Do you know why we are playing this thing? If you look back behind, you will get why we say the disadvantages of a divided home. The disadvantages of a divided home. All these people, if you look inside this thing,
Nnamdi Kanu is another Savior. Holy, Nnamdi Kanu is another.
all the people that joined us to do this rally, all the people that joined us to celebrate this rally, all of them abandoned Mazen Nnamdi Kanu inside the DSA dungeon. Because of what? DOS told them not to go and they listen to Simon Eber. If you see the kind of wave we created in Spain, you see the kind of wave we created in Catalonia, then you will understand the disadvantages of a divided home, that all governments stand for us. They celebrate what they call 50 years Biafran football and anniversary in Catalonia. They say they are ready to give us anything we want to make sure that we restore the kingdom of God on this very planet Earth. But what happened at last? What happened at last?
And then later when I learned, something most people don't know, that there is a plausible argument that democracy began in Igbo land. The very first written constitution on this planet was written by the Igbo people.
then why can't we enjoy democracy? Democracy we created. The democracy we created. And in our people, they will see all those things, they will keep quiet. When someone has problem, then you told them you want to listen to Simon Eber. Others will be looking at you. DOS will issue a document that this person should be sacked. Everybody will keep quiet. That is why we play that first message. We play that first message for people to really understand most of those things that has been happening, which they are not making clear. They are not showing people. They are not letting people to understand exactly what is really going on and why we must fight back, according to Aloy Ejimako. He said that we must fight back because only this thing Mazen Nandekano is doing is the only thing that can help us this time. Nothing more. Nothing more. We are bringing to the area we want to go now for you to know why we must fight back. Because the life of black man is really in a mess. Now we go.
Oh, and let's get to the food, because this is the final chapter of this that will absolutely shock you. Now, you're hopefully aware of genetic engineering of the food supply, right? They're called GMOs, or genetically modified organisms. This is an advanced science technique to alter.
So, my brothers that is here, we have just built a little jingle. We now come to vaccine and what science is doing. Why Europeans, why Western world is flying? They already found out that there is no other living place in the globe, in this universe, except the earth. Now, if you go back 1945, when Hitler war took place, the agenda was to eliminate everybody in Africa. And Hitler says he will take Africa to make a farmland. Is it not true? That agenda has not stopped. Those agendas has not stopped. If it has stopped, let me know. And we will like to, NWC, yes, thank you for writing. We will like to read your comment. The agendas of eliminating Africa has not stopped since that time. We brought you some news when the king of Spain went to Africa and he killed wild animals, lion, elephant, bear, and the different kind of animal. As he returned here, the whole United Nations stand against him for going to kill wild animal in Africa. But let me ask, why is it that nobody is standing to ask, why are you killing those people in Africa? Why are you killing human beings in Africa? But animals found in Africa has security. Their own life is well protected. But you, African man or black man in this world, your own life is not protected. And through this vaccine we want to analyze now, you will get to understand why we can teach in different way and why we admire your comments. Admiring your comment means I want to feel you, you want to feel me. Let us digest some things. Brigade came to Nigeria the other day, last week, and they visited Buhari, Tinubu. What is the agenda of Tinubu? The agenda of Tinubu is what you can see Asare Dokubo is carrying on. The agenda of Tinubu is the same thing agenda which Buhari handed over to Tinubu. Agenda of Tinubu and Asare Dokubo is the same agenda which made Shetima to become the vice president of Tinubu. Agenda of Tinubu is the same agenda of Usman Donfodio, Babangida, all of them, Shagare, that you read the election, every one of them. This is the agenda. And why is it that brigade will come and establish different kind of vaccine in Nigeria, in Africa, when you know that the life of black people found in Africa has no value? They never ask Buhari. The brigade has never asked Tinubu, why are you killing Igbo people in Lagos? Why are you burning their houses? And why are you destroying their properties? Brigade did not ask Tinubu this thing, and the brigade is the person who is producing vaccine. This one you are seeing now. So if you are enjoying our teaching, we want to enjoy you writing your comments. Then David, yes, we have to start what we have come to do. Now,
to the DNA of food crops in order to build in certain traits and physical properties or even chemical properties that the scientists want to put into the food. Now, I'm going to explain to you how your food is now being weaponized as an extermination vector to eliminate black lives. All right? Now,
what do you hear? Food poison. Food poison. There are vaccine and the chemicals being detected. They can use it to crop, to make farm, to grow up some plants. Flies cannot enter they cannot stand on that fruit, fruit. It will be growing. You see the corn, you see the beans, you see a lot of things they bring out that place, but it will be injected from laboratory before cropping them. When you eat it, cancer will then enter inside the person's body. Eye problem will enter inside the person's problem. Devaluation of immunes will then enter inside the person's life. That is, you can see it here, cancer. All these things has been projected. All these things has been projected. The one they've been coming to inject people in Africa, that one is not working fast because a lot of people are not accepting the vaccine. But everybody must eat. And when you see the agenda of the Fulanese, Malami, he says that they control the food going to the east. They control the food going to the east. And inside the social media and the other things, we have seen some foods which people used to eat. The whole family will die off. Evidences are there. That's why with evidences, we are showing what we are showing. Because this person who is doing this thing is an evidence. Let's continue. We are teaching critical thinking. And this critical thinking, you have to think it on your own to make sure you come out with something and write a reasonable comment. The agenda being made to kill all black people. Cancer. Part 1, cancer. Yeah, health. You see it here. No be me talking.
I'm a food scientist. I'm the author of Food Forensics. It achieved the #1 best-selling science book on Amazon.com. I'm the co-author of science papers that have been published in mainstream science journals. I'm not.
If you are enjoying what we are doing, write us comment, please. If you are not writing comment, it will make us to just stop in 1 hour. We will record the program. Any people that knows the importance of it, they will watch it, and we will deliver the message. If you like it or don't even like it, but we enjoy it more when you write comment. Now, this guy now, he has what they call private laboratory. He has his own private laboratory. He is against those people producing chemicals that they are going to use to kill and eliminate African people. Then he say, why the Europeans, Americans will be doing this kind of thing? That inside his own laboratory, his own law is against eliminating black race. Rather, allow them to live. Allow them to come together. Allow them to live their own life. Why should you go on to produce this kind of vaccine you are watching here now?
Just a casual layperson when it comes to food science. I run a mass spec laboratory that's ISO accredited, validated, audited, inspected, passed many, many tests. Our data can be used in a court of law anywhere around the world. We do food analysis. We can search for complex molecules such as pesticides or elements such as mercury or cadmium.
Doing food analysis. And if you have been here when we started by divide and rule strategy. Why we must learn how to come together. Whatever that is happening in Biafran land today, if you are hearing the sound of freedom, you should know that this sound of freedom, America have received this sound of freedom long time ago, and that's why you see our people. You see our people in America enjoying their life in America. You see our people in England enjoying their life in England. You see our people all over the place enjoying their life anywhere they found themselves, because all of them has obeyed that thing they called sound of freedom. Without the sound of freedom, there's no way our people will make it. Without sound of freedom. I am searching for that sound of freedom. I'm searching for it so you can hear it. Maybe I know you have heard the sound of freedom before. Now, our people should learn how to keep their mouth shut. And some people has called us and say, why is it that our prime minister will be showing the people the sound of freedom and how we are fighting back? Because Asare Dokubo have taken it upon himself, saying that he will destroy all Igbo people. And how does it start? When we finish this one, we will tell you more concerning Asare Dokubo and the Femi Kayode.
So I run the lab. I am the lab science director. I know a thing or two about food science. Now, what they have invented, when I say they, I'm talking about the genetic engineers, not only have they found a way to put these genetically engineered traits into food crops, they've now found a way to cause food crops to grow RNA fragments that can be specifically targeted like bioweapons to interfere with the physiological processes of targeted species that might eat the food. Now, this technology is called RNA interference technology. It's relatively new compared to GMOs, relatively new. It's being touted now as a technology to eliminate the use of pesticides, because what they're saying is they can cause a corn crop to grow RNA fragments that will kill the insects that eat the corn without having to use pesticides like toxic chemicals that overload the insect nervous system and kill it from a nervous system breakdown and so on. This RNA interference technology is a pesticide technology, but it doesn't rely on pesticide chemicals. It relies on RNA fragments in the food. Now, what's disturbing about this is that this technology can be fine-tuned to target a specific race of humans who eat the food. I want you to follow me very carefully on this, because most people have never heard of this before. They've never heard of this technology. They don't know it can be targeted by race. Food crops can be engineered right now based on existing technology. This is that this technology can be fine-tuned to target a specific race. is that this technology can be fine-tuned to target a specific race. Is that this technology can be fine-tuned to target a specific race.
That this technology has been fine-tuned to target a specific race. To target a specific race. This technology of food chemical, the food chemical has been fine-tuned to target a specific race. You understand? As you are here, follow us for you to know what is coming.
Race of humans who eat the food. I want you to follow me very carefully on this because most people have never heard of this before. They've never heard of this technology. They don't know it can be targeted by race. Food crops can be engineered right now based on existing technology to cause infertility in black people alone. Food crops can be engineered right now based on existing technology to cause infertility in black people alone. Crops can be engineered right now based on existing technology to cause infertility in black people alone.
Do you hear it? Please write us comments. Join what we are doing. When you write comments, that you know the kind of energy you are giving to us. When you write comments, food crops is now being produced to black people. Do you hear it? You hear it? Eh? David Onyemwechi, my brother, God bless you. Always, always for your precious time being spent. Thank you for appreciating what we are doing. Yes, when we are reading comments like this, then at least we know that people are really appreciating. We don't play this thing just because you never see the video, but we are playing it so that any day, Europeans, let them come and ask a question. Then we will bring this thing for them. Why you see Simon, you see the comment you just write now, give me energy to stand strong. That's why we are telling you, write comment when you come here. Tell us something. Because here I couldn't hear whatever. It's being targeted to eliminate black race. You hear it?
Now, based on existing technology, to cause infertility in black people alone.
To cause infertility to black people alone. The kind of crop they are going to invest in Africa now. And why is it that Tinubu, Buhari, they use the Fulanis to fence Nigeria? Now Tinubu has come. He pushed away the remaining Igbo people, the remaining Biafrans in a red chamber. He pushed all of them away and they circulated that place with the Yoruba and the Fulani. Now, brigade has come. Why do you think they are chasing Igbo people out of Lagos? For them to go home. And whatever that will happen, they will not be in the dots. Hello? How many people is understanding this thing? Then they will be in the dot. Anything they want to do, they know that they are inside the dot. You understand now? Then they can take action. How do you now destroy the idea? Understanding the sound of freedom. That is the only way. Understanding the sound of freedom. The only way out. Are you getting it now? Our own message here is that we think critical before we bring it out. Understanding how to join those people who is beating the drum of freedom, that is doing bo 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 bo. Are you getting it now? That is the only way out. Because if Europeans, if Americans can be creating this kind of food, the food that will affect our people not to give birth, fertility, they will destroy your wombs, they will destroy your body immunes, The food will destroy you and give you cancer. If they can support this thing and they can protect the animals in Africa, but you as a human being, your life has no meaning to them. Then, and you are seeing here what they are producing, the kind of food they are producing now to come and invent in Africa. Why you know that Biafran people, Igbo people are now the most hated all over the world. Let us continue.
That technology is a reality alone. That technology is a reality. It's widely covered out there in the mainstream media. In the science media, RNA interference technology is widely covered. And they openly talk about how it can be.
You see the eye of this woman. Take your brain back. We are critical thinking IPOB autopiloted. You see the eye of the woman. Let me try to bring it here. You see the eye of this woman. Look back in Biafran land. Do you see people with this kind of eye? The symbol of what they are talking about. Cancer. You see it? You see this thing? That is the effect of this technology they are bringing to Africa. The effects. Now we continue.
Be used to target specific physiological processes of certain insect species. They can interfere with DNA repair or protein synthesis in insects. They can interfere with fertility or reproduction. They can interfere with fertility or reproduction. They can interfere with mobility, fertility or reproduction. They can interfere with fertility or reproduction.
Fertility
they can interfere
reproduction.
with mobility, nervous system interaction with the musculoskeletal system, or depending fertility or reproduction. They can interfere with mobility, nervous system interaction.
Fertility and the nervous system. That is where the thing is entering inside your brain. Inside your brain, it will interfere to inside your fertility and your nervous system. That is where the chemical will go and enter. Then from there, your nervous system will then create what they call hypertension to your life. When it creates hypertension, you will begin to have high blood pressure every minute of the day. And from there, cancer and different kinds of sickness will come. You cannot be able to germinate. You cannot be able to produce. That is what they are talking about here. That's why we say, write us some comments. That is the only thing. It's not too much for you to do. Let's continue.
With the musculoskeletal system, or depending on what animal we're talking about, other systems, endoskeleton systems. I ask you, does that technology exist? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. The answer is yes. It exists. Other systems, endoskeleton systems. I ask you, does that technology exist? Other systems, endoskeleton systems. I ask you, does that technology exist? The answer is yes. Does that technology exist? The answer is yes.
You know, we are playing it the way it is. He asked. He is a scientist. He asked, does that technology exist? And he confirmed that the answer is yes. Then who are you to argue? Who are you to argue? Different kind of vaccine has been produced in different kind of laboratories. And does this kind of vaccine exist? The answer is yes. Last time we teach here concerning the vaccine that is called the Dead of the Dead. They used Angelina Jolie, the famous film actor of Nollywood, of Hollywood, to make example of that medicine. It is called the Death of the Dead. Yeah, killing the sickness that will come to kill you. How many people understand something here now? The death of the dead. they first of all kill the sickness that will come to kill you. You know, I want to read comment here, then we can be able to be revealing this kind of thing. And another medicine that is being created is keeping young. And this vaccine that is keeping young is when you are in your fresh age, the age of 25 to 30, that's a vibrant age. You can take the medicine, and for the next 200 years, you will remain like that. That medicine also exists. And again, a medicine that will kill the sickness that will come to kill you, like a cancer, like a diabetes, like any other sickness that can kill. Like cancer is difficult to cure, diabetes is difficult to cure, and some other sicknesses that is very, very difficult to cure. Up till now, it is only maintenance to cure the people, to keep them alive until they will live how they will live. But there is a medicine being produced, existing in this universe today. It is called killing the death that will come to kill you. Yeah, muerte de la muerte, the death of the death. That is why you will understand why we are telling you this thing, and why they are telling you concerning depopulation. Because this journey you see, Brigade came to Nigeria to visit Tinubu, is another way of depopulation, the population of Africans. Why they are increasing the vaccine that will keep their own people to live at the age of, up to the age of Methuselah. These Europeans are practicing what they call immortalism. Immortalism, they say, if Methuselah can live up to 900 years, then there is possibility of immortal. Then they begin to produce the medicine. And when they check on inside this planet, inside this globe, there is no other place. All the surfaces of the earth they found Mars, Jupiter, Moon, Mercury, and all those ones. Then they have been searching to know if they will find a place like Earth where you can find water and air, so they can leave people alone. The white people will then fly to that area and they let people of this earth. They found none. That's why you see this depopulation agenda is going on. Creating this kind of vaccine is going on. Hello, are you really enjoying this teaching? I want to read your comment. Now we continue.
Yes. It absolutely exists right now. Right now. The answer is yes. It absolutely exists right now. Are they using that technology? I asked you, do a little bit of research, look at the plummeting sperm production in black men. Sperm production is plummeting in black men. Sperm production is precisely the kind of physiological process that can be targeted by RNA interference technology. Now, is that proof that the food crops are being engineered to cause sperm production to plummet in black men? No, it's not proof. But when you connect the dots, all the other things that are being done covertly, this becomes something very likely in the realm of possibility. It would take a lot of advanced testing to find this out. And guess who controls the funding? Guess who controls nearly all the science funding in America today? The federal government. Guess who controls nearly all the science funding in America today? The federal government. Today. The federal government. The same government. The federal government. Guess who controls nearly all the science funding in America today? The federal government. Controls nearly all the science funding in America today. The federal government.
He they ask, guess who is funding all this vaccine you see today, the federal government. Then what are the agenda of Democrat Joe Biden? These are the questions you should begin to ask. Why did they remove Trump? Trump says that he does not believe on this agenda of depopulation. Allow people to live their life. Are you really understanding what we are talking about? Then what did he say here? What did he say?
And guess who controls the funding? Guess who controls nearly all the science funding in America today? The federal government. The same government that allows the CDC to cover up the truth about vaccines and black children. The same government that funds Planned Parenthood abortions of black babies. The same government that funds Planned Parenthood abortions of black babies. The same government that covers up the EPA-induced contamination of waterways affecting Native Americans and other populations, including the Flint, Michigan, predominantly black population. This government, same government that runs the FBI, government that runs the FBI, government that runs the FBI, including the Flint, Michigan, predominantly black population. This government, same government that runs the FBI.
How many people is following us? This is not only Africa, eh? That's why they say that Nnamdi Kanu is the light of Africa. And when Africa stand up, then every other black person all over the world will then enjoy their freedom, including Papua New Guinea and Vanuatu, which is almost the end of this earth, where you will still find black people. You understand now? Then they have been practicing this thing in America. They have been practicing all this thing everywhere in the world. But in Africa, it is speaking volume. In Africa, you see the people that have the contract of organ harvesting. Organ harvesters. Which person is funding it? Brigade is the person funding it. And which people are the people sponsoring Joe Biden? Is it not Brigade? And who is the person that visited Tinubu, Shetima, Asade Dokubo? It is who? Brigade. Then we continue.
That won Martin Luther King Jr. to commit suicide. It's the same government. The government is at war with you. If you're black and you're watching this, the government is at war with you. With you. If you're black and you're watching this, the government is at war with you. With you. If you're black and you're watching this, the government is at war.
Please, the people who is here, please, can you write comment? What do you hear? What do you hear? Yeah, don't let us remain here like fools. What do you hear? He says, if you are a black man, I know that people here watching are black, unless they are white. You understand? Unless they are white. Are you white? People here. He said that if you are a black man, you should know that the government is at war with you. Do you hear that? Write it here. Let us know that you heard it. Simple mathematics. Write it here and let us know that you heard what he said. When you are able to write it, you can be able to have courage to tell your neighbor the kind of plan they have against you. And because I heard it, my own job is to make sure you hear it. And I want to confirm if you heard him. He says this. This is what he says.
The government is at war with you. If you're black and you're watching this, the government is at war with you. If you're black and you're watching this, the government is at war with you. And they want you exterminated, and they control the science funding, which means there will never be money for any genetic science of the food supply. Want you to exterminate it, and they control the science funding, which means there will never be money for any genetic science of the food.
Man, no one under mother they may say the comment yeah amazing way about all this today is cool. I was awesome now. Not only me, we die. They say, listen, if you want to write comment, you write comment. They say that this sickness that is coming now, government will not fund it. Whenever some people have the sickness, they will not fund it. You will go to hospital. Azubike, thank you. Resting day, yes. You will go to hospital and nobody will ask you, what is your sickness? They will let you go down. They will let you down 6 feet. Today is resting day. Yes, Sabbath day, the Jewish. But they did not tell us not to preach. They did not tell us not to talk. We have to preach the gospel. Every now and then, we will take the gospel to the end of this universe. That is what we are doing. And if you like what we are doing, write a comment. This is something that is handling, they are talking about you, not about any other person. We are jubilating today, singing holy, holy, Nnamdi Kanu, another savior, only for Biafra to come. Only Biafra can save people, these black people all over this world. Though. Because when Biafra come, our people in America, our people in Haiti, our people in all over this earth, those people they sold as a slave have to return. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu say Biafra is like a deacon. It shines. They will follow it and they return. They will follow it and they return home where they can be saved. That is the thing we are telling you here. And the scientists, top scientists of this earth are telling you that if you are a black man, you should know that your own life is at stake here. Because even, I don't know, any food you will eat in Africa and any medicine you are going to take will determine, they have the key to your life. That is what they are talking about here.
Food supply to uncover this truth. If it were there, it would be covered up like everything else has been covered up this entire time. Just like the Tuskegee experiments covered things up in the 1930s. Nothing has changed, except the technology is more advanced. The covert technology is more covert. The number of vectors through which they can kill you and cause you to have no children, cause you to have spontaneous abortions, the number of vectors is increasing. You are being targeted. And like I said earlier, to some extent we're all being targeted. But black people are being targeted more than anyone else. Targeted more than anyone else. Targeted more than anyone else. Being targeted. And like I said earlier, to some extent we're all being targeted. But black people are being targeted more than anyone else. And like I said earlier, to some extent we're all being targeted. But black people are being targeted more than anyone else.
But you are in the spirit. Yes, we must be in the spirit to deliver this kind of message. He says here that he himself revealing this secret. His own life is in danger. He has been targeted. Maybe because he is white, they will protect him. But black people has been targeted more than anyone else. Black people all over the world has been targeted more than anyone else. It doesn't, nobody is excluded, including Buhari and the Tinubu, Shetima and the Asare Dokubo. They are just killing their own brothers that will protect them. Why? They know the truth already. Let us go forward before we call it a day.
So, what do we do with all this information? What do we do? Do you take to the streets and bash heads? No. It doesn't get you anywhere. The problem is the consolidation of power in the institutions of science and medicine. The problem is that science has been taken over by globalist agendas and depopulation agendas and government funding. has been taken over by globalist agendas and depopulation agendas and government funding. The problem is that agendas and depopulation agendas and government funding. The problem is that we don't have a decentralization agendas and depopulation agendas.
Science has been hijacked by those people handling the agenda of depopulation. That's why they put enmity within us. Now you are getting it. Better Lazubike. Now you are getting it. It is long-time agenda. Long-time agenda. This agenda has been here long time, since 1842. We have the ancient book here we showed the other day where we found all these things we are teaching. We don't come here to teach. You know, where people will learn, it's not booming. It's only few people you will find a place where there is life. The place where you will see people, where when you are doing this kind of program, funny program, comedy is what they promote. Funny things is what they promote. Then you can see one person will boost out one program. Everybody will watch. You will see 1,000 viewers, 2,000 viewers, 2 million viewers, because it is comedy. Azubike, you understand those, Amaka? You understand now, because it is comedy. They projected our brain. They projected our brain in comedy. That's why you see black people always dance and laugh. Fela call it suffering and the smiling. Suffering and the smiling. That is what Fela called it. You will see black people always dance. Azonto, they dance this one, they dance this one, they dance this one. They dance all manner of dancing style. Black people have it. But what are the white people doing? Planning deep. Planning deep. Hey, our members are double. So I have to study again how to let our people know exactly when we are coming online, because we have teach a lot. This is 1 hour something now. Our Sonny is now coming late. You see? So if you watch the way they projected the brain of our people, we showed you the message the other day when the agenda of Fulanese have been reviewed. They say that they like going to church, clapping their hand, they like going to discotheque, dancing, they like drinking, they like a comedy. That their mindset is not there to understand what is really going on. So they have to take them from the south until they come to the center, until they catch them. That is exactly how they planned it. That's why you will see President Fulani. All power has been governed by Fulani, and they say they will come from the south. Coming from the south, you see how they handed over to a living dead man, Tinubu, and they use Shetima to back him up. If Tinubu do make him now, then what do happen? Then the real agenda will then start. But once we connect to our father's challenges and get it diagnosed, we get the solution. That is it. Connecting to that, the system of our fathers. That's why when we start, we told you that the treasure is hidden in an open place. Ihe a na-achọ n'uko elu dị n'uko ala. Ihe a na-achọ n'uko elu dị n'uko ala, because we have traveled trying to find out different kind of things that is happening inside this life. Why will we leave our father's land, going to Lagos to build a house, to develop another person's house, going to Abuja? Is it not Babangida changed Lagos State as a Nigerian capital, and he pushed it to Abuja, and Igbo people rushed to Abuja, and they begin to develop. Formally, originally, the first capital of Nigeria is in Calabar. Why didn't they leave it there? If the capital is in Calabar, at least we will be in advantage. But it is something they planned a long time ago. They know that only these Igbo people, only these Biafran people are the people that will come up with the ideology to understand. They remove the capital, the first capital of Nigeria from Calabar, and they move it to Lagos. When they set up this agenda, Then Babangida then come and remove the capital territory from Lagos and put it in Abuja. Igbo people moved to that place and they developed Abuja the way they developed Lagos. After the demolition of Lagos, you will see they will channel in Abuja and begin to demolish in Abuja. Then what do? Understanding the sound of freedom. It is called woto, 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 woto. That is how we are going today. Now, we continue.
Is in government funding. The problem is that we don't have a decentralization of science. The problem is, if you will allow me to even invoke this terminology, the problem is that we are all slaves to science tyranny as it is being operated today. We're all slaves. We're living under a science dictatorship that refuses to tell us the truth and yet targets our brothers and sisters, our children, our grandchildren with extermination agendas through medicine, through food, like everything we've talked about. That's the problem. We need independent science. We need decentralization. We need more labs like my lab. Decentralization. We need more labs like my lab that I operate independently. Decentralization.
Decentralization of lab, decentralization of chemical, decentralization of power, and connect the dots. Why is it that Nnamdi Kanu is there? He need referendum to decentralize the power that Fulanis are occupying. And why is it that Simon Ekpa now is now doing everything possible, humanly possible, to make sure that Biafra come in our own time? Because this agenda, if you didn't understand that if Usman Dan Fodio agenda is to Islamize Nigeria, which you see they say they will build it, they will dig their Quran down to inside Atlantic Ocean. Asari Dokubo is that Quran they use to dig their Quran inside Atlantic Ocean. Where is Asari Dokubo come from? From Calabar. Where is Calabar? In Ayi, that place in Bayelsa, that area connected to Atlantic Ocean. You know, when they say they will dig their Quran inside Atlantic Ocean, people think that they will go and bring Quran and they put it inside the Atlantic Ocean. No, this is just like when they say they are building bridges. Building bridges. We are coming here now to Femi Kayode. Building bridges. And when you see building bridges, some people used to think that this is like building flyover to fly the other side. No, this is they will dig their Quran down to Atlantic Ocean. Then they use Wike in River State to dig it. Then they use the Asare Dokubo to dig it the other side. Where is Atlantic Ocean? Port Harcourt. Where is Atlantic Ocean? Bayelsa. Where did they start? It happened right in front of you. Decentralization of power. That is why you should understand what is to come. Why our Prime Minister say Nigerian government doesn't want to recognize that there is war going on in Biafran land. Now he must start to be showing people those Asawana recruited by Asari Dokubo how the combat is going on. That Nigerian media will carry the news by fire, by force. We go on a little.
We need more labs like my lab that I operate independently. We don't take any government money. That's why I can tell you this truth. You think if I were on the payroll of some big corporation that used government money, do you think I could stand here and tell you this truth? No way. Not a chance. It would yank your funding so fast, cover it up, sweep it under the rug. I can only stand here today because I have no financial ties to the system that's murdering all of you. Nor will I ever have financial ties to that system. I refuse to take money from satanic forces. I refuse to take money from murderous regimes, all of you. Nor will I ever have financial ties to that system. I refuse to take money from satanic forces. I refuse to take money from murderous regimes. I refuse to take money from murderous regimes. And that's what forces. I refuse to take money from murderous regimes, nor will I ever have financial ties to that system. I refuse to take money from satanic forces. I refuse to take money from murderous regimes.
Are you getting it? Mazen Nnamdi Kanu refused to take money from satanic forces. He refused to take money from agents of darkness. If Mazen Nnamdi Kanu want to become Nigerian vice president, he will. If Mazen Nnamdi Kanu need oil well in Port Harcourt, they will give it to him. If Mazen Nnamdi Kanu say he want to become Dangote and sign the contract, that he will not speak about Biafra again, they will give it to him. Because God says in the Bible that I will take you to the mountain. Satan, when Jesus was on the mountain praying, and as he praying, the Satan came and said, look at this earth. It is owned by me. Everything is owned by me. You know, only curse your God. Then you can owe all this thing. Take money, reject your people, then you can owe all this thing. Jump down, the angels will take charge over you. What did he say? Go behind me, Satan. That is what this man have just said. He refused to take money from agents of darkness. The same way Mazen Nnamdi Kanu refused to take money from agents of darkness. And this time bring us to another level of our teaching today. The level of our teachings today, let us, we leave this place and we come the other side. Now we continue. Now we continue.
Leprosy hand to write. You don't have respect for the people who bought your father. Is it every Calabar man that is a Calabar man? Do you know your roots? That you talk to me. You don't know that people own this Calabar. You are law-abiding. Igbos, I don't know them. I don't know where they come from. Because I know that if not for...
You know why I'm playing this thing? My followers, the people who is here, I am not playing it because you have not seen it before. But our people say, when you understand something, then you will begin to. That's why different opinions is necessary. Then we come to our analysis. I don't really want to play it much. Asare Dokubo is someone we know that supported Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Is someone we know that stand by Nnamdi Kanu. Is someone we know that when Nnamdi Kanu was inside the SA dungeon, he stood strong to under the leadership of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. But if you look up here, you will see Femi Kayode and his wife. His wife is an Igbo woman. And if you read the title inside this place, we call it Killing the Cat. Killing the cat. Killing the cat by the offense of the dog. You understand? And the Igbo people used to say, Iji wa agbushi, we bu ahụhụ. Then connect the dot now. Try to connect the dot with us, because at least Emisani is here. Obazuonu is here. People, Bethel, all of them are here. You know, we do our own way. We preach it the way we understand it. Why did Asare Dokubo then hated Mazen Nnamdi Kanu so much? Asare Dokubo says that there should be election. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu says there shouldn't be any election. The same thing that happens between DOS, and the autopilot. That is where the problem starts. How many people here knows about this? We have been here before. That's why we are bringing you all. Then this Femi Kayode you see here now. You people knows when Femi Kayode is a very good friend to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, supporting every agenda of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and is fighting for Biafra. How many people remember? That's why I like some messages so that it won't just be only me that knows this thing. If you maybe you forget, but now I am reminding you. Why did the Femi Kayode then abandon Igbo people and begin to support Tinubu to eliminate them? Because he has what they call family problem with the mother of his children. And from there, they says, then Bethel here is telling us he knew that Femi Kayode was supporting Nnamdi Kanu and the Biafra restoration, also Oduduwa. He supported this guy, the leader of Yoruba nation, Igboho. You know, why did he go back? And why did Asade Odo go back? Inside might criticism, then you will understand the meaning of might criticism is killing the dog because of the offense the cat committed. Since the time Femi Kayode began to have problem with his wife, did you see Femi Kayode supporting Biafra again? His wife is an Igbo woman. Tell us something here in comment section because we are closing. Did you see him support this Nnamdi Kanu again? All what he do is, I will show you. I will destroy you. I will show you. Just because of family problem. Chameleon in the blood. You understand? Chameleon in the blood. That is the reason. There's no other way that make Femi Kayode stay back and begin to lie against what he has supported. Then why is it that Asare Dokubo stand today now against the Igbo people? Asare Dokubo says that he found it very, very difficult to stand against Biafra. That standing against Biafra is like pulling out his skin, out of his bone, for you people to know, yeah, the extent Asare Dokubo has gone for this Biafran issue. When he was defending Nnamdi Kanu, Fulanis has been calling him as the Niger Delta militant. Come, he says, sometimes the people who will listen to this now, they will bring the video where he say that standing against Biafra is like pulling his skins out of his bone. That removing his bone out of his body, meaning that he cannot live without supporting Biafra. Why did he go against his own will? Because Nnamdi Kanu say, if you know that I am your leader, listen to me. The agenda of the Fulanis cannot help. Let us boycott everything election. Asade Dokubo said no. He wants election. That is where the problem starts. Then Asade Dokubo then begin to blow hot against Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu was inside the SA dungeon, deposited $20 million to him to mobilize people to fight against insurgency. But Asade Dokubo ate up the money in Cotonou. He ate up the money and then began to fight against Nnamdi Kanu. This is exactly what happened that made him to transform himself today to fight against Nnamdi Kanu. This is just a little. We want to stop now. Just a little. In case if you people that if you don't know the origin of this hatred from Asade Dokubo, we are bringing it to you because our job is to make sure we bring the news to you. We've been in this IPOB a long time ago, since 1914, since 2014. After IPOB was formed, so we are here. I really before the meeting, I the image okay. That is exactly the history. And today you have seen the real history. So we are calling it a day
of British intervention. I will still be selling them the way my father sold them. Now look at you people in Igbo land. Look at how you are dying. Woto. You are talking. You will do video to sell that Elijah has run away. You don't see me.
You all of you, you know this story already. But Igbo people used to say, onye na-anọrọ ebe a nọ lie ozu, asị ya jee bọọ, oje bido n'ụkwụ. This is the origin of the story, how it started. And which people are supporting Tinubu and promoted Tinubu? It is Dokubo and Kayode. Why? What offense has Nnamdi Kanu committed against them? This one married Igbo woman. The Igbo woman refused to be to accept marginalization. The Igbo woman tried to fight for her right. Then Kayode, from there, he hated Igbo people out of will, just because he want to hate them. Just because he want to hate them. You know, because his wife did not support marginalization. Kayode came to Igbo land and he took title. He took title. Asari Dokubo has been all this thing. And all of them, two of them are the supporters of Tinubu that made Tinubu whom they to become president today. Are you getting it? So, Biafrans, we listen to it, then we call it a day.
I don't run.
We don't run. Run will come for you.
Leave me alone. You don't see me? I don't run. On our head, no correct. On our head, no correct. The be like on they look for who go finish on her. Look for now everywhere finish on her.
So,
and they see me.
We call it a day. So, Biafrans, as you have watched the program today, share it and get your own understanding in things that is unfolding. Because within some time, the real game will start. But try to understand exactly what the sound of freedom means. In case if anybody asks you the meaning of sound of freedom, tell them the kind of sound you are hearing now, that kind of sound have been in America. It has been in France. It has been in Great Britain. It has been in Australia. It has been in France, in Spain. It has been in Canada. It has been everywhere where Igbo people and everybody is enjoying today. They say, yes, they are having a good life, that place is good. They have democracy. Sound of freedom has been in all these places. So, Biafrans, thank you as we return in the night, because our Prime Minister will come live today. So, thank you, Biafrans. See you again.